The journey to the Rise of Skywalker continues as we reach the conclusion of the original trilogy. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a cinematastic day. I'm Josh, this is Simply Cinema, but before I get into my takes on the Return of the Jedi, I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this film, how it concludes the original trilogy, and how it fits into the Star Wars universe as a whole. If you're new here, Simply Cinema is a channel where we just talk about movies, TV shows, and more. And if that fits your boat, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, because I'm going to be continuing the journey to the Rise of Skywalker with the rest of the Star Wars movies. Return of the Jedi picks off years after The Empire Strikes Back, where Luke has become a Jedi. We get the rescue of Han Solo from the deserts and the grasp of Jabba the Hutt. And as we move on from that, we go into Endor and have to battle the Empire against the Ewoks as we get the final fight of Luke versus the Emperor. Starting with the positives, because of the return of the great cast and the great characters, we get some good moments within them. We get more development from them, understanding more of their character traits and who they are, how they connect to one another. And it's done in a way that's believable, and the way they connect to the world behind them is really well done. Unlike Empire Strikes Back, we get the return of the culture found within the Star Wars universe and the return of the immensity of the Star Wars universe as we get more land, more planets, and a different idea of how this system works, and seeing the different variety of different species and different world building elements within the film. The rescue of Han is done in a familiar place where Luke has to return to his home planet, but it's done in a way that's really enjoyable. You get all of these different gangsters with Jabba. You get to see more of the background of Jabba and who he is, as you only get a glimpse of him in episode 4. And you get more of the crew, of who he's up against, the different species involved with his gang, and how all his system works within there, and the different ways that they go about, and all of the main characters have to come about trying to rescue Han Solo. There's different setbacks that put them back and give them conflict and almost leads to their death, but they're done in just a way that they know how to escape from this situation, because Luke also has a separate plan involved. Even before we get to the planet of Endor, we get this general focus that's not necessarily done in Empire Strikes Back, where they stay focused on one story and one sort of select character for a long point of time, so you really get to understand the meaning of that situation, even though you don't necessarily think there's a real danger within the situation. It's threatening enough that you're really invested within the story that's going on, and it's done in just the right amount of time that makes you understand it. You get their separation, and then you get Luke's story and seeing Yoda for the last time, and then it diverts to the rebels where Han and Leia are, and then Luke just intercedes into the scene, and it's not broken up to where you have to separate and find the story within this movie. And then it goes straight to the Endor scene, and that's where it flows really well. And though this repeats the story of having another Death Star, there's a bit more tension as there's another more setbacks found within the story on Endor, and having the different Ewoks, which I think are really adorable. Some don't like them as much, but I just really like them. They're just like cuddly little teddy bears, and they're just really fun, and I really love their characters. They don't have a speaking voice, but just adding their own language within the mix adds to the immensity of how the culture and Star Wars works within the Star Wars universe. And that's what makes it really fun and makes them really a good set of characters in their own regard. And adding the Battle of Endor is one of my favorite movie battles of all time, especially even when they interact it with switching from the Endor battle to the battle in space, as we get the final battle that ends the Death Star in that regard, we it transitions with just the right amount of time between the two that you understand this situation and really can grasp what could possibly really happen within that situation and the setbacks in both situations, both on space and on Endor, between the Ewoks and the Emperor and Luke's final face against him and his father. And really, all I gotta say about the negatives is it's slower than what I like for films. Even in the final battle, there's not a ton of intense, high-packed action battles. And while it does serve its purpose with what it is, and I really like the sentimental values and morals and themes found within the movie, and the different little twists found within, even watching it today, it's done in just the right way that explores different areas in different ways that makes me really enjoy this film as it is, and even as a slow film. And there are times I'm a little bothered by the rescue upon how that system works. It doesn't fully seem like there should have been a backup plan in the way that R2-D2 had the lightsaber for Luke later on. Everything just so happened to work out in this situation that led to that situation where Luke could get the lightsaber from R2, but there would have been no way in logic where all that events would have flowed out. And the fact that all of their plans didn't work out makes sense and is logical, but the fact that Luke just so happened to have a backup plan where R2 had the lightsaber seems a little off and kind of a far stretch. But still, even just watching it, I'm still not completely bothered by it to where it ruins the movie or ruins my experience, because the culture found within and the story that's told within it and how everything flows out is done in just the right way that makes me still like it. So overall, Star Wars Return of the Jedi is a great conclusion to the original trilogy. And those were just my thoughts on it, and I'd love to hear yours down in comments below. Let me know what you think of it. Was it good? Was it a good conclusion to the original trilogy? And how does it really work within the rest of the Star Wars universe and the other movies? And I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already for the rest of the Star Wars reviews. And you'll be able to check out my Star Wars playlist right over there in the corner, as well as the video YouTube suggests specifically for you. And be sure to check that out and let me know if you enjoyed it. And I'll be back for more movie reviews, rankings, and more.